In the vast emerald stretches of the Peruvian rainforest, battle lines are being drawn and redrawn. Killers rub shoulders in this densely populated combat zone. It's a war of power, poison, wits, wings, and jaws. Honed to predatory perfection by millions of years of evolution, they stalk their prey, while making sure they don't end up on someone else's menu. With youngsters at risk on every branch and under every leaf, who will emerge victorious from the wild hunt of the teeming Amazon? Peru, on the southwest fringe of the Amazon rainforest, lies one of the most biodiverse nature reserves on the planet. Tambopata. A flat expanse of tropical forest nestled between the Andes Mountains to the west and Peru's border with Bolivia to the east. A total area of over 2,700 square kilometers. Home to thousands of species pitted against each other, engineered by evolution with ingenious weapons and defenses. The king of the jungle here, make that the queen, is this female jaguar. Her kind can reach nearly 2 meters long and weigh in at 68 kilograms, the largest terrestrial carnivore in the Amazon. The modern jaguar evolved 500,000 years ago. As the largest cats in the Americas, they strike terror among the animals of the forest. Compact, muscular, and a powerful swimmer, she is every bit a predator. And she's hungry. She can go for days without food, but she hasn't taken down a big meal in a while. She'll happily eat over 20 kilos of meat at a sitting. Her morning rounds take her along the banks of the Tambopata River, which flows through the heart of the reserve. It's the home of another impressive predator, one she'd like to make her prey. This noisy family of giant river otters has been up since dawn. Don't let these cute faces fool you. These are ferocious killers in their own right, earning them the nickname river wolves. While hunting, the adult otters try to keep an eye on some lively additions to the family. Their 2 young pups have just emerged from their underground burrow after 2 months in hiding. Either pup or adult would make a satisfying meal for a jaguar. But giant river otters are not an easy catch. The adults weigh up to 32 kilograms, all sleek and powerful agility. These highly sociable creatures live and hunt in family groups of up to 8 members and fiercely protect their territory and each other. They'll mob and potentially kill any predator that dares to attack, including hunters as large as caiman. They'll even attack jaguars. This cat uses stealth to ambush an unsuspecting prey. The otters are enjoying their own fishing expedition too much to notice that they're being watched. It's the dry season, and the shrinking river concentrates prey, making for happy hunting. They're fantastic swimmers with webbed feet, dexterous claws, and razor-sharp teeth. They mainly eat fish, but they'll try for a young anaconda, the Amazon's largest snake, if they get a chance, or even a small caiman. They can attack from above and below. their whiskers picking up vibrations, helping them to locate their targets. And their eyes can change shape to improve their vision when moving from land to water. The pups definitely need some practice, even in the fish-rich shallows of the dry season river. The river otter's thick fur coat is so dense, its skin never gets wet. It was this velvety pelt that almost spelled their doom. In the 50s and 60s, they were hunted nearly to extinction. But against the odds, a few tiny populations survived. One of them here, in the Peruvian Amazon. They've been steadily recovering ever since. These otters spent half their time in water. But the alpha male slips onto the bank to mark his territory. His huge clawed and webbed feet leave paw prints about the size of a human hand. On the riverbank, he scent marks, leaving urine to signpost the family stretch of river, putting other otters on notice to fish elsewhere or face the gang's wrath. Meanwhile, the jaguar keeps watch, weighing her options. The frolicking otters aren't easy prey. She knows she's no match for this viciously protective family, so she heads back into the jungle in search of a meal that won't put up quite such a fight. A monkey would be ideal. She's an agile and stealthy climber, but she needs the element of surprise to succeed. And that's quickly lost. Above her, a vigilant saddleback tamarin calls out a warning. All the monkeys within earshot react quickly. They move high into the upper canopy, onto slighter branches that won't bear the weight of the jaguar. Macaws join in the chorus, their loud squawks echoing through the forest. While all eyes in the canopy are on the jaguar, another stealthy killer goes unnoticed. Boa constrictors generally hunt on the ground, but they'll sometimes make their way into the canopy, where prey is plentiful. The boa uses its powerful body to squeeze the trunk and propel himself up into the upper branches. The snake is on the lookout for small mammals, like rats and pygmy marmosets. But he'll eat anything he can get his enormous stretchable jaw around, and he'll swallow it whole. Today he's set his sights on a group of squirrel monkeys. He's poised to strike, but the monkeys are already on high alert after the jaguar encounter. The troop's alpha male spots him and sounds the alarm. The agile little monkeys scamper away from the killer. However high in the canopy they go, the monkeys can't let down their guard. In the Amazon, death often comes from the skies. Squirrel monkeys are a favorite meal for a whole host of birds of prey, including the most powerful raptor in the rainforest, the harpy eagle. These birds can weigh up to 9 kilograms and have a wingspan of more than 2 meters. A female welcomes her mate returning from a successful hunt. The 10-centimeter talons of this huge bird dwarf his prey, an unlucky squirrel monkey. Their nest sits just beyond the Tambopata Reserve in the neighboring Refugio Amazona, where researchers installed a camera 30 meters up in the canopy. Scientists have been watching this harpy eagle couple for 6 months, since they hatched their single chick. These raptors pair for life and look after their young for up to a year and a half. They're raising one of the most powerful birds of prey on Earth. Over the past 6 months, their chick has survived everything from burning hot sun to lashing storms. As she's grown older, they've begun leaving her for up to 2 weeks at a time while they hunt. They must fly below the forest canopy, as the sloths and monkeys they prey on inhabit the understory. With powerful talons, they can crush the bones of victims, instantly killing them. The chick's 6 months old and now ready to fly, so free meals will become few and far between. She's starting to display adult behavior, like mantling, spreading her wings over her prey to hide it from other raptors. And she's beginning to look like her impressive parents, with a crown of feathers and darker wings. Soon she'll be vulnerable to poachers, seeking both her meat and her decorative feathers. She must learn to fly. At first, it's perilous. If she goes over the edge at 30 meters up, she'll likely die. Within days now, she'll have mastered flight and be well on her way to becoming a proficient aerial hunter, just like her parents, striking fear into the hearts of animals across the jungle. Potential prey animals better look down as well as up. Blending into the leaf litter, a fer de lance, one of the most venomous snakes in the world. Its incredibly toxic venom kills more humans in South and Central America than any other snakes. And it's very aggressive. It will bite whatever it comes across, delivering its lethal venom through 2 sharp fangs. It most often hunts at night, but a tantalizing scent has roused it from its daytime slumber. Two heat-sensitive pits behind and above its nostrils sense the slightest rise or drop in temperature. Following this heat signature, it can home in on warm-blooded mammals. It uses its tongue to taste the air. It recognizes the smell and knows exactly what's on the menu. Baby rats. With the rat's mother out foraging in the forest, nothing stands between the viper and its helpless next meal. Newborn, naked and blind, baby rats are an easy catch for the snake. In a flash, the snake has the first rat in its jaws. It swiftly injects a lethal dose of venom. The canine teeth in the upper jaw have evolved into 2 hollow needles that bite down on the prey. This activates muscles that pump venom out of the glands, through the fangs, into the victim. It's a hemotoxin. It destroys the rat's red blood cells as it courses through its veins, causing nausea, then blackouts, and ultimately death. Even a tiny rat like this is bigger than the snake's head. The snake's jaws are loosely joined to its skull by strong ligaments that expand to swallow. The snake walks the prey into its mouth, moving the left, then the right side of its upper jaw over the meal. To prevent suffocation, it can move its airway to one side, allowing the snake to breathe, even with its mouth stuffed with food. One rat down, the viper goes back for more, wasting no time in pouncing on a second rat. Not content, the snake grabs all 3 in its powerful jaws. It continues to devour the first while keeping a firm grip on his next prey. Not all snakes kill with venom. Some use power. Back at the river, a supersized cousin lurks in the shallows. A green anaconda. The most massive snake in the world. It can weigh well over 200 kilograms and can devour prey up to half its size. Anacondas have even been known to attack humans. This female is about 6 meters long. Her muscular body built to wrap around and squeeze prey to death. Called water boas, anacondas evolved from early boa constrictors. As with so many jungle hunters, her camouflage renders her nearly invisible in the murky waters. With nostrils and eyes on the top of her head, she can see and smell while almost completely submerged. She can stay underwater for up to 10 minutes without breathing, laying in wait for prey. With her immense size and power, she can take down other large predators like jaguars, caiman, and even male anacondas. After mating, the female will often eat the male, but right now she's swollen and sluggish. She's recently devoured a large meal, one that she could live off for weeks, perhaps months. The anaconda is one of nearly 200 species of snake that live in the Amazon rainforest, each employing either venom or power to ensnare its prey. Evolution in the Amazon has contrived a million ways to kill, but not every predator fits the image of the cold-blooded assassin. Looking like something thrown together by a disjointed committee, the giant anteater is a hunter who's all about quantity over quality. Ungainly, lumbering, toothless, and nearly blind, nothing about this weird beast says fearsome killer. But he's one of the most prolific predators in the jungle. This mass murderer can rack up 30,000 kills in one day. He's 2 meters long. With his poor eyesight, he forages for prey using scent. His sense of smell is around 40 times more powerful than a human's. He moves with a slow shuffle, walking on his knuckles like a gorilla to keep from wearing down his 10-centimeter razor-sharp claws. These he uses to rip open an ant mound, one of 200 nests he'll pillage today. His whole body is an evolutionary miracle designed around his diet. His long snout can easily probe any nook and cranny, but his tiny mouth can only fit the smallest prey. His amazing weapon, a 60-centimeter long tongue. It scoops up harmless worker ants before the stinging soldier ants can launch their painful attack. The tongue has tiny backward-pointing spines covered in sticky saliva. It darts inside the mound up to 150 times a minute. He feeds at each mound for less than a minute, careful not to devour all so he can return again and again. One mound down, 199 to go. Dusk falls quickly across the Amazon, transforming the jungle into a shadowy world as the twilight chorus begins. Cicadas start to call, filling the forest with their mating song. Howler monkeys' deep-throated roars call in their troops for the night. As the sun dips below the horizon, birds of prey return to their nests to roost. Titi monkeys, parakeets, frogs, and crickets all perform their loud and impressive displays at sunset. But not for long. Not unless they want to broadcast their location to the predators that own the jungle at night. As darkness descends, it's time for the night stalkers to emerge. This baby is destined to be one of the most terrifying creatures in the jungle. She's a spectacled caiman. She's only 30 centimeters long now, but fully grown, she'll be an apex predator almost 5 times that length. She's so small that at this age she's both the hunter and the hunted. Hungry, she slips into a small, stagnant pool. Her dark scales blend in perfectly with the murky water, so she can practice her killing skills undetected. Opportunity knocks. A stricken moth struggles to get out of the pool. But the baby caiman fumbles the attack. Again and again, she misses the mark. Finally, success! The little night hunter is satisfied for now. In the vast stretches of the Amazon, nighttime is the right time for many of the jungle's creepy-crawly killers. The Colombian brown tarantula is an expert ambush predator with a ghoulish reputation. This experienced huntress has been honing her grisly technique for more than 10 years, though her kind has been at it for millions. She measures 22 centimeters across and weighs as much as a newborn puppy. She's far too big to hang on delicately spun webs. She launches her ambush on the ground. Lurking in a lair high up on the riverbank, she can blend into the brown mud. She has 8 eyes, but she's almost blind. So she depends on touch for hunting. The delicate spines on her legs are sensory hairs, letting her know that prey is nearby. They detect the slightest vibration. She's spun a series of silken tripwires that run from her burrow to the riverbank. Maintaining her touch on the end of these fine lines, she waits patiently for some unsuspecting creature to trip her alarm system. She's in luck. An injured moth makes a fatal error when it lands close to her lair. The vibrations it makes are like a Morse code menu. The tarantula bites into the moth, using her huge, strong jaws equipped with fangs that are connected to venom glands. She pumps her toxins into the moth's body, along with a mix of digestive enzymes. The lethal cocktail stuns it and dissolves it from the inside while it's still alive, turning it into pre-digested soup. She wraps the moth up. She'll add it to her gruesome larder, ready for when she's in the mood for a snack. The light of the full moon reveals that the boa constrictor hasn't been nearly so successful in its hunt. The snake was more of an effective killer in the trees when he was young and trim. But now he's simply becoming too heavy to negotiate the canopy. To get back down to earth, he brings his 25 kilos of branch-bending weight to bear, easing him to a safe drop. Back on the forest floor, he needs to find a suitable place for an ambush. His forked tongue enables him to smell in stereo. Spreading the tips of the tongue apart, he collects chemical information from two directions at once. Strongest scent detected from the left or right fork tells the snake which direction will lead to prey. He slithers off into the night, in search of the perfect spot to lie in wait for any warm-blooded mammal passing by. Some of the jungle's night stalkers aren't content to let prey come to them. The world's largest ant is busy hunting from dusk till dawn. This little monster can grow to over 3 centimeters long. But the really big thing about her is her sting, which packs one of the most painful punches on Earth. Often likened to being shot, thus her name, the bullet ant. Unlike the other species of ant, the bullet ant hunts alone. Her usual diet is sugar water, but she needs the occasional protein fix. A caterpillar, another insect, or even an ant of another species will do. 2 grasshoppers locked together in a mating embrace would be perfect. Their coupling takes some time to be successful. A sting from the ant will mean certain death. She goes in for the kill. but she's no match for their lightning reflexes. It's morning, and wandering the jungle floor is another toxic killer, but with a twist. He's as much of a danger to those who would eat him as those he eats. The bright, conspicuous color of this amphibian has earned him the title Jewel of the Rainforest. But while his color is beautiful, it's nature's way of telling others, beware. This is a poison dart frog. He's only the size of a thumbnail, but he's incredibly toxic. Capable of killing any small animal foolish enough to mess with him, and causing serious injury in humans. Beneath his bright-colored exterior, skin glands ooze poison. Indigenous hunters have taken advantage of these frogs' powerful toxins for centuries, coating the tips of their blow darts with the poison. This squirrel monkey knows that to bite him could mean death. But he doesn't make his poison himself. Instead, he absorbs it from his diet of ants, mites and termites, all of which consume toxic plants. But this flashy predator seems to have had his fill for the day. Downstream, the female jaguar is still on the prowl. She didn't make a kill yesterday, so it's been several days since she's eaten. She's not choosy. More than 80 animals feature on her menu, including this odd-looking creature. These curious animals have lived in the Amazon for 3 million years. Although they're most closely related to horses and rhinos, they look more like long-legged pigs, but with a snout like an elephant's trunk. They're tapirs, South America's largest terrestrial mammal. Weighing up to 300 kilograms, they forage non-stop for the huge quantities of vegetation they need to survive. They eat up to 34 kilograms of plants a day and can live up to 25 years in the jungle, if they can avoid falling prey to the big cats, caiman, and giant snakes that target them. After breakfast, it's time for a dip. Underwater, their prehensile snout becomes a snorkel. Fast and agile swimmers, tapirs can hold their breath for 3 minutes and even walk on the bottom of the river. The tapir's scent has drawn the jaguar to the riverbank. But that ship has sailed. As an ambush predator, the cat prefers to pounce, not chase. And so she moves on in search of a handier meal. In the dense, dark jungle, catching some rays can be challenging. But some killers can't get moving without them. A green female spectacled caiman basks in the morning sun. She's cold-blooded and needs to warm up to hunt efficiently, so she stores up the sun's rays. The scales on her back double as armor and solar panels. Caiman have been stalking the Amazon for 7 million years. Related to alligators and crocodiles, as a group, they're called crocodilians. They're known as living fossils because their killing strategies are so successful, they've stayed the same since the time of the dinosaurs. Solitary, except for during mating, she lies motionless, waiting for the perfect moment to lunge at an unsuspecting passing victim. She's a poker-faced killer. Even wasps lapping up her salt and protein-rich tears won't make her give herself away. It's an easy sodium fix for them, and she stays stock still, letting them feast. Fearsome as she is, she doesn't always come out on top of the battle of the jungle predators, as one of her kind will soon find out. Deep in the forest, a Brazilian wandering spider is out on the hunt. She's not content to spin a web or sit in a lair to wait for prey. She gets her name from her habit of wandering the jungle floor. This female is about the size of a mouse, but she's armed and dangerous. During the day, she hides under fallen logs and rocks, but at night, she comes out in search of her victims. Her venom is twice as potent as the infamous Black Widow's, and she's very aggressive. She's a master of disguise. Blending into the leaf litter and effectively hiding in plain view. A grasshopper wanders too close and pays the price. Easy work for a hunter of the spider's talents. Her bite delivers powerful neurotoxins causing pain, then paralysis. The grasshopper can no longer move, but it's still alive. Soon it will suffocate. As it succumbs to the eight-legged beast, the last thing this grasshopper will see are 8 cold, black, shiny eyes. The Brazilian wandering spider's venom is so powerful that she has a reputation as a child killer. By herself, she has enough toxins in her to kill 2 human children. And she accidentally kills more infants in Brazil than any other species of spider. This grasshopper is small fry, easy to subdue, and it only used up a tiny amount of her precious venom. But it's only an appetizer, and takeout at that. She sets off in search of a main course, carrying the grasshopper with her and snacking on its pre-digested innards as she goes. The Amazon is vast, the largest rainforest on Earth, covering more than 5.5 million square kilometers, and the struggle for survival goes on in every centimeter. The boa is still on the hunt. It moves by stiffening its ribs, then lifting a set of scales on its belly to push ahead. Its beautiful saddle-like markings run the length of its body, allowing the snake to blend into its surroundings. Like many ambush predators, it relies on silence more than speed as it traverses the forest floor. Boas are also excellent swimmers and spend most of their time around water looking for prey. This green iguana would be a nutritious jackpot for the boa. Most of the iguana's daylight hours are spent basking in the sun. But the iguana's a risky option for the boa. Its tail can measure almost a meter long, and it can use it like a whip to drive off predators. The boa strike may be lightning fast, delivering a fatal squeeze. But not today for the iguana. He's on the move. And for the boa, an easier meal is about to be served. One that this ambush predator isn't going to pass up. The rat is within easy striking distance, and the boa is perfectly poised to oblige. During its long death squeeze, the snake senses every last heartbeat of the dying rat, so it knows when to stop constricting. The vice-like grip shuts off blood to the heart and brain. The snake then begins the grisly business of swallowing the rat whole. Its specialized jaws stretch wide, letting the snake devour prey many times larger than itself. It swallows the head first, limbs and fur pushed back, giving smooth passage. The boa slithers away on a full belly to a safe branch where the real work can begin. The rat begins to putrefy, releasing gases, swelling up in the snake's stomach. Digestion starts with the rat's head. Within days, only fur and smaller bones will remain. The boa will spend up to a week digesting a meal this size, but it will satisfy its hunger for weeks to come. In the dry season, things can get tense down at the dwindling river. Prime basking real estate is harder to come by. Food is scarcer, and at this time of year, the caiman can turn to cannibalism. Adult caiman like these can reach up to 2 meters in length and weigh over 40 kilos. Their broad snouts have a bony ridge across the bridge of their nose, giving them their trademark appearance of wearing spectacles. Caimans have patrolled these banks for as long as these rivers have flown. Several species of modern caiman evolved when the Amazon rainforest began to form more than 50 million years ago. When it comes to food, they're generalists. Everything is on the menu. All adult caiman will take on mammals like capybara, the world's biggest rodents. While black caiman, the largest species, will even attack another apex predator, like a jaguar. There's no love lost between these two hunters at the top of the food chain, each willing to feast at the other's expense. The jaguar sees an opportunity in the caiman's dry season plight. She's patrolling her territory along the river. Close to the bank, a hunting caiman fails to spot the big cat. With the strongest bite force of any cat, she can puncture the skull of her prey. But the caiman isn't going down without a fight. It's a battle of the jungle's titans. This time, the jaguar has the upper hand. For millions of years, the caiman, apex predator of the Amazon, hasn't needed to change a thing. But a new contender, the jaguar, has emerged to seize the caiman's crown. It is an arms race that will continue for as long as the forest grows and the river flows. The Amazon is a stage where countless dramas unfold every minute. This mighty tropical rainforest has existed for at least 50 million years, a place where evolution has honed its killers to predatory perfection. On the wing, in the water, wandering the land, wielding venom, or pure power. Here, jungle killers do battle, as they have since time immemorial, driven by hunger on a never-ending quest for food.